Okay, fam, welcome back. So today we're going to be going over the grayscale trust as well as some dividend declarations. So with that being said, let's get it. Okay, so the markets are still being kind of choppy. As you guys can see, crypto's having a slight pullback. I can definitely sympathize with y'all that it is just a little bit annoying that we're not already seeing the rally. But again, it's possible that maybe things don't play out exactly like we expect this time. Again, always expect the unexpected in the markets. That's just the reality of being in these markets. A lot of times, like I told you all before, a lot of times Wall Street will try to make a fool out of people, and then when you least expect it, they will give you ultimately the direction you're looking for, and by that time, it may be too late because you might already be out of your positions. So, um, that's why I always say that, being in these markets requires a great deal of patience and perseverance. And that's just the reality of things, unfortunately, because, as much as we'd like to just immediately move the markets straight up to the moon, it doesn't work that way. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get into the content here. So, the yieldmax ETFs, they had their, I'm not sure which round this is, but a round of dividend distributions. So we have YMAX here at 20, looks like about 24 and a half cents, YMAG at 17 and a half cents. Excuse me. Tesla at about $1.29, Crash at 37 cents, GUI at 63 cents, YBIT 71 cents, somewhere in there, ORC roughly about 33 cents, Zomo 24 cents, 57, roughly about 57 cents for SNOY, and TSMY 80 cents. Looks like they have some new ones in here. I have not looked into these yet, so I'll have to take a look into those later. I'm not sure what they are. I know YieldMax is constantly adding new positions to their repertoire, so to speak. So, yeah, these top two up here are weekly. The rest of them are monthly. And for those of you guys that are into dividend ETFs, obviously you want to know this information. So, we have YMAX, YMAG, Tesla, GUI, YBIT, and ORC. So quite a few out of these, but not every single one of them. Okay, so QDTE, we'll start with this one. So the dividend distribution for this one for this week is just over 80 cents per share. I will say this, I'm not sure why it's so high. I'm actually a little bit concerned that it's this high. I would actually like to see it be a little bit smaller, so that way the share price is sustainable, the increase over time, or the maintaining the share price is stable. Again, the markets haven't really been all that volatile, so I'm not sure what's going on here, but it is, I mean, if you don't care about that and you just want the dividends, well, hey, there it is. Roughly about 80 cents per share. And these are weekly payers, by the way, so you guys can obviously see why I would say I'm concerned about that. Okay, RDTE, so this one roughly about 27 cents. It's pretty good. I would say the Russell 2000 hasn't really been doing much the last few weeks. Okay, XDTE, this one's also another whopper, 60 cents, but XDTE has been pretty good in its overall total return, so I'm not so concerned about this one like I am the NASDAQ. FEPI, so this is the tech ETF from RecShares, $1.08 per share, which is going to be paid out today. A little bit late on this one, but again, those of you guys that are into these, you already know when the X date is and all that stuff. Okay, so AIPI, this one's pretty good. For those of you guys that are interested in Palantir, they do have that in here now, so something to keep in mind. Let's see, where is it? All right, so we got $1.49 here on this one, which basically means, again, that is per share. So if you have 100 shares, you get roughly about $150 a month of income. And they added a new one here that I wanted to throw in as well, called CEPI, CEPI. So this is a crypto ETF of some kind. Again, I'm not sure exactly what it is they plan on putting in here, or how much exactly it's going to pay. I mean, we'll have to wait and see on that. I know Tesla is very volatile, but we already have that in FEPI. Visa, not so much. MasterCard, not so much. NVIDIA is very volatile, but we already have that in FEPI and AIPI, I believe. Robinhood, that's a new one. Yes, they do have a crypto arm in Robinhood. You can buy crypto on Robinhood, just so y'all know. You can also buy crypto on PayPal. MicroStrategy, that will definitely pay out some pretty fat premiums for this ETF, I would assume. It's hard to say what the dividend payout for this one will be. Maybe somewhere around the range of AIPI to maybe up to like $1.75, $2 per share. I wouldn't be shocked if that was the case. And for those of you guys that are like tripping that the grayscale trusts are not going back up yet, yeah, you know what? I feel your pain, y'all. You know, the same thing is being experienced by people in MSTR and Coinbase and people that are in the miners like us also experiencing the same thing. It kind of just is what it is right now. We're going to have to wait and see. I will tell you guys a couple of things right now. Because we are still in the midst of the holidays, there is a chance, and I'd give this a pretty high probability chance, that most of Wall Street and the big money, okay, the whales, the guys out there that are rolling around on yachts, you know, they're probably still on vacation. Most of them probably will not be back until after, I would say, after this week, maybe even the following week. I would say probably next week is when we start seeing the markets really start to pick up again. Because again, we're in a holiday week still, and you guys got to think about this from a holiday perspective. Some of these guys are extremely wealthy. Okay, very experienced traders, investors, all that stuff. They have lots of money. They may be on vacation for a couple of weeks. Okay. So a lot of these guys that are managing these huge portfolios for the banks and these other hedge funds and stuff, they may not be back until after the first. Maybe even Monday next week. It's hard to say exactly. And the flip side of this is the markets, in terms of crypto, the markets may be actually waiting for Trump to get into office to start rallying. That could happen as well, because they may be hesitant to do anything with crypto because, you know, Biden seems to be pulling all these shenanigans right before he's leaving office. So that might kind of be spooking the markets a little bit. And they may just say, you know what, I'm going to wait till Trump gets in office to start really bidding up the price in crypto. That could be the case too. So just throwing out some possibilities here in terms of what's going on. All right, so LTCN, same thing as before. The buy area is still going to be between 13 to 1780-ish. You got your targets going anywhere from 25 to 54. Keep in mind, LTCN's all-time high was at 510. 320% gain. And the other thing you guys got to keep in mind about crypto is the longer it takes for us to moonshot and get that parabolic rally and then blow off top, the more time we have to be able to rally in the crypto markets. So I think, in my opinion, the fact that we have not seen a true alt season yet, the fact that Ethereum has not broken all-time highs, and the fact that Bitcoin hasn't gone on its second screamer to the upside for a more of like a true top for Bitcoin, somewhere like 140, 160,000, something like that. Because usually when these moves in crypto happen, they're pretty large. I mean, they're not small by any means. So you can see here, for example, you see how large this move was. This move was insane. Okay. Yeah, we haven't really seen something like that. I mean, it's a big move, but it's not like, from the breakout point, it's not 500%. You know what I mean? It's relatively small in comparison. So I don't think we're even close to the top here. But like I said, the longer this takes to play out, in my opinion, the more upside and the more time we have to be able to run to the upside. Which, again, is part of the reason why I think that likely we're not going to see the real big moves in crypto until Trump gets in office, and, you know, everybody kind of gets a good solid understanding of what policies are going to be like. Okay, so BCHG buy zone down here at 510 to 590. We are still buying CLSK, just so y'all know. So 1240 to 24 is going to be the targets up here for as high as a 300% gain. HSN, so this $5 level right here at the structure is still going to be the buy area. Again, I am expecting that to hold. You got your levels up here anywhere from 690 to 815, and then 12 and a quarter to roughly about 1240, or 11 and a quarter to about 1240. 150% gain on this one. Okay, so ETCG, We're below the structure, but above the EMA. So I'd say maybe anywhere between 11 to 1270. Nice little buy area. Target's going up to 1860 to 20. 75% gain on this one. ETHE, same thing, below structure but above the EMAs. So anywhere in this box here, I'd say is a good area. 2350 going up to roughly about 28 and a quarter. And then obviously once we get above structure and get confirmation move to the upside, should be pretty quick movement up to this cup and handle target at 53-ish for about 126% gain. GBAT. So I'm just kind of bobbing around the support area, not really like actually making a move yet. I mean, we're slightly above the EMAs. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out. You can see these wicks back here. We got rejected right off those wicks at that $15 area and then pulled back. Again, there is some people that are either taking profits or bears looking to short the markets that are looking at those levels. You got to understand for every trade, there's a counter trade. So if you're a bull, there's probably going to be a bear out there somewhere looking to try to short the levels you're looking to take profit at. And vice versa. Okay, if a bear is looking to cover at a position, you might be looking to take, or at a particular level, you might be looking to pick up some shares at that position. That's just the way the markets work. Unfortunately, I wish it were bullish all the time, 24/7, but that's just not the reality of being a market participant. Okay, so GBAT buy zones down here at 720 to 760. Target's going to be the all-time highs and possibly even above the all-time highs, which definitely could happen. I don't see any reason why not. 335% gain here, FILG. So this one would be about 60 to 65, pretty much about the current price. It could go lower, it could go higher. That remains to be seen. $400 is going to be the target. Keep in mind, once these things push past price discovery and it creates a flip zone, turns from resistance into support, there's a very, very high likelihood these things are going to start screaming higher in price discovery. That's usually how it works. 565% gain on FILG. And I'll give you guys a good example here of what it means. So let's take Soundhound, for example. So you guys can see once it got past this top here at this $9 area, it just went absolutely stupid, and it went stupid again once it got past the previous all-time high at 15. It just took off like a rocket, and it has not stopped since. I mean, this is actually pretty ridiculous. I'm expecting that Soundhound's probably going to have a pretty decent pullback at some point. I don't think it can keep going like that. Usually when you see something like this, that's when you should be worried and be like, okay, maybe I should be taking some profit off the table. That's just my opinion, of course. So GLIV, so 1160 here to about 1490 for the buy zone. Got to get above that structure at roughly about that $19, $20 area, and then the target would be up here at the highs at 80. Now, obviously, if you want to hold past the highs, that's ultimately your choice. You don't have to necessarily take profit immediately at the highs 100%. You could always scale out as it goes higher. 595%. There's more than one way to do things in these markets. You don't necessarily have to have like a fixed mindset about it. You could try different strategies, see what works for you. G-Link, so the buy zone probably anywhere in this green box, 66 to roughly about 86. Target 220 at the all-time highs, and of course it can't go much higher than that. 225% gain. GSOL looks like it's wanting to bounce off these lows here. We'll have to wait and see on this one. For now, I'd say anywhere from 16 to 24 as a potential buy area. Target 72 going all the way up to roughly about 115 for about a 585% gain. GXLM, so third green, week of red here. Am I shocked? Not really. I mean, look at how crazy this move was. I mean, you get about a 4x on your money if you had your average down here at these lows. I mean, you would have made bank. That's for sure. But we are getting into that level that I told you guys about, that 36 to 40. So something to keep an eye on there. I would say the target zone would probably be anywhere up here from 74 to 96. For about 170% gain, because again, once we get past these structure highs right here, I mean, it's probably just going to be like something like this. Yeah, that wouldn't shock me at all if that was the case. Again, is that a guarantee? No, but usually that's how it works. Once it gets past a major swing point, that signals a trend change, and then things tend to get things in the markets tend to get very aggressive in that direction. So if it's a bullish direction and it flips a bearish zone, then likely it's going to start screaming high pretty fast. Okay, so mana 10 and a quarter going all the way up to 1950 here as a potential buy zone. Again, I know it's a pretty wide zone, but this is considered to be accumulation in my opinion. Kind of like what we saw back here. Again, it's not perfect, but you can see the similarities. And the target being all the way up there at 70 or above 70. If you prefer to wait longer, if you're more patient, that's fine. 555% gain, Zcash. So we're sitting pretty close to that structural level. Again, I'd say that 610 is a pretty good area to buy. I mean, you literally had months to buy down here. So if you already bought down here and you want more, that could be your second chance. Okay, so $8 to 10 and a quarter for potential targets here on this one, for roughly about a 68% gain. All right, hope you all enjoyed this content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.